have mandatory minicamp next week, but the Bears led off this week. Their 3-day mandatory minicamp wrapped yesterday. Chicago brought in Ben Johnson as a new head coach, rebuilt the interior of the offensive line via trade and free agency, and also took pass catchers in the top 40 of the draft. For more on the Bears, we welcome in our NFL and Bears reporter, Courtney Cronin. Courtney, I know so much focus is going to be on Caleb Williams. We got 53 dudes who are going to suit up on Sundays. How did the team look under first-year head coach Ben Johnson?
Phil, they look like they had a lot of fun. The final day of minicamp starts with an evaluation of this offense's trick play ability, quarterbacks, offensive linemen sent out on routes. Maybe Darnell Wright could be this team's next Dan Skipper. He had an awesome one-handed catch that had Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, the whole crew out there in awe of his athletic ability. But elsewhere on offense, it's the proficiency of Caleb Williams, the final 2 days of minicamp, that stood out. For the most part this spring, Ben Johnson said the defense has gotten the better of the offense. That seemed to shift this week. Defensive tackle Andrew Billings said that Williams got a couple guys to jump off sides with his cadence, and he looked pretty sharp in end-of-half and end-of-game situations. I want to take you inside of a moment from Wednesday's practice. There's 58 seconds on the clock. Offense backed up deep in their own territory. Couple big completions from Williams, marches this offense down the field, 94 yards, capped off with a touchdown to rookie running back Kyle Monungai. This affirms what Ben Johnson said he's known all along about Caleb Williams, that when the lights are the brightest, that is when he shows up, and that's what happened. A couple big completions, taking what his offense is giving him, not trying to force the ball, finding his open receiver. As Williams, Johnson, and the whole offense feeling pretty good as minicamp comes to an end. Ben
Johnson loves to play 4D chest too. I trust nothing with those O-line wheel routes. He's setting some.
Okay, let's talk about this. There's really not a whole lot to say. I just wanted to comment because they were talking about how the defense has been able to get to the better of the offense, and really early on in the season, in practice, in the year, whenever you're kind of start getting back out there. You see this a lot. This happens in basketball. This happens in baseball. This happens in football. That the defense is almost always ahead of the offense for whatever reason. But especially in football, getting the offense out there and instilling the plays that you need to run and what you're looking to do. The communication, the connection is just it takes time. Defense, it's going to be a little bit less than that, and so it's no surprise that the defense is going to be in a position to kind of get the better of them. But it also bodes very well that the defense is good enough to be able to get to the better of them, which is nice to hear. But yeah, I mean, it's just the more and more I think about this and what they're doing, the Chicago Bears, and what they'll be able to do with Ben Johnson. I mean, like, it's just, man, I'm going to have to just kind of keep repeating this for the next couple of months. It's just, there's just no way that Caleb Williams doesn't take such a tremendous step forward, honestly. And with that logic at play, there's no way that this Chicago Bears team isn't just at least, at a minimum, just average. And if they're just average, well then, if your coach is great and your quarterback ends up being great, then you're a great team, right? Like if your floor and your foundation is just like, yeah, they could be average. It's like, okay, well, that's like 8 wins. It's like, okay. And if you're great, well, then add another 3 wins, add another 4 wins, right? Like, it's like, there you go. You're at 11, 12, boom. Like you're just right there in the mix. And I cringe when I see, sacked NFL high 68 times. And that's not just because of the O-line. Of course, that's part of it. But that is, some of it's on Caleb and some of that, and a lot of that's also on coaching. And I just think Ben Johnson is absolutely positively going to erase that. And I highlighted this in before when I showed you Jared Goff's numbers, depending on what coach he had at the time. With Sean McVay, his pressure to sack percentage was low. Then he has a different coach, different coordinator, pressure to sack percentage high. Gets back to having Ben Johnson low. And now I think now that he lost Ben Johnson, it's gonna creep back up. And I just know that Caleb Williams is going to take significantly less sacks. And even if it's just kind of a situation where he's just able to get a yard or two or just throw the ball away, it just absolutely changes the offense entirely. It completely changes the drive entirely. So I'm just something so little can end up having such a massive impact, and I just think it's going to be on full display this coming season. So that's why I'm not getting too caught up in like the trick plays or like we saw what he was able to do in practice and when the lights are brightest, and it's like all right, like let's settle down here. It's June, like come on. But when I think about it from a more practical standpoint, I'm just like, it's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, and kind of what you've been hearing coming out of camp? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.